Hey everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter. Thanks for joining me today. Today I have a very special post celebrating not one, but two little baby boys who are soon to make their arrival in Emily Midgett's household. We are throwing her a little baby sprinkle, and it's a surprise. So surprise, Emily, and congratulations. We are so excited to meet your twin boys. So I've picked out some colors from the Catherine Pooler ink line to kind of guide my inspiration here. And I've grabbed a bunch of my favorite Essentials by Ellen products, and I'm going to be using those to create a baby card. It's going to spell out, oh boy, squared, because there are two little miracles about to make their debut. So I've started with the Circle of Stars die from the Essentials by Ellen line, and I've die cut that from some Neenah Solar White heavyweight cardstock. And all of these little stars that are left over, those are great to use for confetti, but you want to make sure you get them off of your die cutting plate before you run your cardstock through again. I'm doing a lot of layered die cuts today, and that Circle of Stars was the first die cut that I'm layering. And the second one is going to be this tic-tac-toe. And this is going to create some stitched tic-tac-toe lines right over that Circle of Stars. And this just kind of adds a little bit of interest to the background. And it will guide where I'm going to place my die cut letters here in just a bit. Now, I'll give you an up-close look, but I wanted to mention, you do want to clean those stars off of your cutting plate, because if you do not, those can impress into your cardstock and leave a little mark or mar your cardstock once you run it through your die cut machine again. So make sure that your die cutting plate is clean when you run it through with your cardstock. Now, I've used one of the Essentials by Ellen Essential Shape Circle dies to die cut this masking paper here, and I'm going to create a little area of ink blending. So this mask is going to go around that Circle of Stars, and it will keep the ink from going outside of the circle that I've die cut here. Now, to do my ink blending today, once I've placed my masking paper onto my card front, I am going to use this Waffle Flower Mini Media Mat and the Picket Fence Studio Life-Changing Blending Brushes. And I'm using two colors of Catherine Pooler inks here. I'm using Aquatini here at the top. It's a little bit lighter and more of a saturated color. And then the second color I'm using, I know it looks like I'm putting the Daydream on right now, but I swear it's the Aquatini. The second color that I'm going to be using along the bottom of this ink blended area is the Daydream. You can see this is a little more muted back. It has a little more gray tone in it. It is not quite navy. It is not a navy ink, but it looks absolutely beautiful with this Aquatini ink. So you'll notice as I'm blending that I'm actually tapping my brush off on the edge of my media mat. And I can actually go back with my blending brush and pick up that ink if I want to add a little bit more to my brush, but not go all the way back into my ink pad. Now, the one thing that I noticed about this, I've never used it before, it cleaned up so beautifully with a baby wipe. I didn't have any staining with this ink. I know that some inks may stain this, but I have heard that using the Hero Arts stamp cleaner helps to take that staining right off. So if you're looking for a way to clean your media mat, try that out. Now, once I remove the masking paper, I have this beautifully ink blended area, and it's contained to that circle where the stars are. And I'm going to continue with my die cutting. This card features a lot of die cutting, and at one place in the card, I believe there are actually 7 die cuts layered up all at once, although it's not incredibly bulky. So see if you can count the 7 layers and leave it in the comments below at YouTube. We'll see who's the winner. You win pride, not prize for that. So now I have the Essentials by Ellen Classic Block Alphas, and I am die cutting those from some Neenah Solar White heavyweight cardstock. I just decided to go ahead and cut the entire alphabet because I can save these in a little dish and use them on future cards. And I did need to cut it twice because I need 2 O's. So I've just shifted that whole grouping of letters down and die cut that twice on this Neenah Solar White heavyweight cardstock. Now I've set aside the letters that I need for now, and I put the others in a container to save them. And now I am using the Hinged numbers dies from the Essentials by Ellen line. And you will notice that these are hinged. They do not actually cut all the way out. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to remedy that here in just a moment. But first, I'm going to cut a couple of the Essentials by Ellen cloud dies from some vellum, and also that little moon, which is from the Space Out stamp and coordinating die set. And I'll set all of these things aside and assemble this in just a moment. But first, I'm going to take those hinge numbers and I'm going to line up the hinge with the edge of my trimmer here. And that's going to create the rest of the cut line that I need to release that 2 from the hinges. So this trimmer is really great because you can see exactly where you're cutting. And so I just lined up the hinge line with that trimmer edge, and voila, I have my number 2 ready to go. Now, before I start assembling this, I'm going to take the Congratulations from the Totally Random Sane stamp set from the Essentials by Ellen line, and I'm stamping that on the bottom of my card front using some Catherine Pooler Juniper Mist ink. That is a navy ink, and it's absolutely beautiful. And then I'm going to take this green tea color, and I'm squeezing the lid so that a little bit of ink transfers from the pad to the lid, and I'm going to pick that up with a water brush and I'm going to color in this little moon that I've stamped and die cut, and that'll be ready to go on the front of my card. Now, all of these things that I'm adhering to the front of my card, all of these letters and the moon, I did put a double layer of foam adhesive on the back of. So I'm just cutting small little strips of double layered foam adhesive and placing those onto the back of the letters. And I'm going to use those letters to spell out "oh boy." And I'm using the little tic-tac-toe area that I die cut into my card front earlier to help me line up all of these letters. So once I have the "oh boy" spelled out, I'm going to take my little 2, which is like "oh boy" squared, because there are twins coming. And I'm going to put that kind of offset up to the upper right so that it's kind of like a subscript 2. I'll finish adhering on my little vellum clouds and my moon, and then I die cut that same circle from the Essentials Shapes collection from Essentials by Ellen, and I die cut that from some white glitter cardstock, and I added some liquid glue to the back of my card front and placed that onto the back so that this white glitter will show through those open stars on my card front. Now, you know me, even if it's a boy card, I'm going to add some shimmer and shine. And so I finished off my moon with a layer of the Tonic Aqua Shimmer Pen. And then I added my card front onto my card base using a single layer of foam adhesive. And for a little more sparkle, I'm going to take these really tiny iridescent stars and adhere them kind of sprinkled all over the front of my card front. And I used a little bit of Lawn Fawn glue tube to adhere those stars. So that completes my baby boy congratulations card for today. Oh boy squared. Congratulations, Emily. I am so happy and I cannot wait to see pictures of your baby boys. I am just over the moon for you. As always, you can find links to the featured products used in this project in the description at YouTube, but head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. It'll be linked below. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, a complete list of supplies, and more information about this baby card sprinkle that we're doing for Emily Midgett. As always, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you won't miss any of my paper crafting and card making video tutorials. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the very end. You know, if you've made it this far, you are one of my favorites. To subscribe to my channel, go ahead and click the button on the left side of the screen. And here's a couple more video tutorials I thought you might enjoy.